What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show from the Valley to the Mountaintop podcast. I'm your host, Micah Gibson. If if this is your first time tuning in, welcome, welcome, welcome. On this podcast, we interview business owners to see the ins and outs on what it took to build their particular business. I hope you brought your pen and pad because we have a special guest in the building. I'm gonna let him introduce himself and his company and why he's at it. Give us a little bit of background on your upbringing. You still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
I
ready
was
whenever you are.
on. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm Larry Sorensen, and I own S&S Disaster Recovery. We pick up, after hurricanes and tornadoes and wind damage and stuff like that.
Okay, how long have you been in that business?
I just started this year.
This year. Now let me ask you, out of all of the businesses you could have started, what made you choose this one?
Well, I've always worked for a guy. I what for 4 years is when I first started just working for somebody in this industry.
Okay. Now they say when you find good help and you teach the good help everything you know, they go out and start their own business. What made you decide to be like, hey man, I can do this myself? I mean, was you seeing the money he was making, or what was the factor?
Uh, Well, I mean I had a really good teacher, and he was working for a guy. It's my cousin, and he ended up going out and starting his business. And I mean he's been doing it for 3 years by himself, and he's already grown to two truck or not two tr- sorry 7 trucks he owns now,
Wow.
and
Wow.
like just the equipment he has in it. I mean, I had a great teacher, and I still work under him. And I mean, if it wasn't for Matt Burton and his wife Isis Burton with LDR, I couldn't have got where I've got, because he had all the connections. He'd been doing it since he was 18, and he's 40 something now.
Wow, wow. So it's mainly like when a storm rolled through town, that's when y'all kind of roll out.
Yep, yep. We're normally on site like right after, we want to help out as much as we can. We want to get it all picked up so everybody can get back to their normal lives.
Okay. Now, what state are you based out of? Like, where do you live? What state you live in?
I live in Missouri.
Okay. Now, let's say like, do y'all come down south and work as well, or y'all kind of stay up there?
Yeah, right now we are in Georgia. We've been
Wow.
here since right after the hurricane,
Now, let me ask you.
Helene.
Let's say Monday you doing some work around your home, and you find out, hey man, Wednesday is gonna be a storm in Florida. So how do y'all prepare? Like, walk me through it. Like, bring me in your world. Like, what is the, hey man, they got a storm coming to Florida Wednesday, today, Monday. What's your next step from there?
Well, see, I count a lot on Matt Burton, because he's right there. Like he'll go into the storm, just to help people out and be right there. So, I mean, in deeper terms, he gets into it a lot more. And I just when he says, "All right, roll out and be here," that's when we're to be here. Like this year, I worked. I got real lucky when I bought my truck, because I had it for a week, and I ended up in Nebraska working a windstorm that happened there in Nebraska. They had like 90-mile-per-hour winds, and
Wow.
I got 5 weeks on that job, and that's 7 days a week. This job is, and then I got home for 2 weeks, and it was literally the day before my daughter's birthday, and he had called and said, "All right, you got to be here in so many hours." So, we rolled right out.
Wow, wow. So, like, when the storm come through, I mean, as soon as y'all get in town, y'all immediately get to work.
Yeah, yeah, we want to help out as much as we can.
Wow, that's awesome. Now let me ask you, is something like that? Because how long you say you've been in Georgia now? How many weeks?
I've personally been here like a week after Hurricane Helene is
Mm,
when I got here.
mm. Now is something like that hard on your family? Like I heard you said you had a daughter.
Yeah, yeah, I've got 5 kids back home, and
Wow,
yeah,
wow,
it,
wow.
it, it's kind of rough. It's kind
Yeah.
of rough.
Hey, I know, man. I got 5 daughters. that's what. That's why. That's why when I told you, I said, "Let me get my kids settled in, man. It's some work."
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I got one daughter and 4 boys, and
Wow.
It's rougher on my daughter because she's really a daddy's girl, you know.
Yeah. So when this job is over, do you plan on kind of going home for a little while, or you just ready to roll right to the next one?
Well, I mean, if there's more to going on, we will just pack up and move on to the next job, you know, because
Okay, okay, okay.
we're trying to I'm trying to build something, and
Right,
I'm just at the first stage is what I feel like. So
right.
I got to do stay as busy as I can.
Exactly. Now I've heard because you have guys that I'm in Mississippi. I'm in South Mississippi, and a lot of when you live by water, you always running across storm work and all of this. Now,
Yeah.
is it like does those towns kind of crowd up real fast with a bunch of guys from out of town coming to work? Do you run into that, or is not many people actually doing what it is you're doing?
There's been a lot of people that's gotten their hands into it through the years,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, like this year with the amount of damage that was caused this year with the hurricanes and
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff, and I mean now you got what is it, a tornado season
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
here. I mean there's just always a need for guys out here doing this, trying to get people's lives back on track.
Right, man, that's pretty awesome. Now explain to the people what kind of setup you're currently running with.
I got a 2000 International Eagle. It has a 74 yard trailer box on it. Then I got my grapple in the middle, and then I got a 74-yard trailer on the back. And I just ordered a 94-yard trailer that should be in when we come back from Christmas break. So,
Wow, wow. Now, is that your biggest investment to date for your business?
oh yeah, oh yeah,
Is it
oh yeah.
now when you purchased that? Did you have any butterflies like, man, this is a little pricey? I mean, because reason I'm asking that is you'll have guys who want to get into the field you're doing, and then when they start looking at the price of things, they're kind of, oh, let me change my mind on that. Like,
Oh,
did
oh
you?
yeah. I mean, my biggest thing that well they say scared money don't make money, and
That's
that's
true.
that's actually it's like a big thing. Like I was wanting to get into it last year, and my cousin told me to hold off, and he's been doing it since he's 18. I trust him
Mm-hmm.
with all my bank account, and
Mm-hmm.
so this year he said pull the trigger now, and I mean it was hours. I had to be like okay, and bought the truck, and
Mm-hmm.
I mean it. But yeah, I mean it's very expensive to get into. Just the truck I have now, not counting my new trailer, I'm into it for $120,000.
Easy, man. Yeah, yeah. And see, that's what people they don't see that part. Now, saying that $120,000, did that? I know you seen your cousin do it, and you're like, hey man, it's worth it. Spend the money. We're gonna make the money back. But was you kind of second guessing yourself before you went and bought it, or you was just all in?
Like I said, I've done this for 4 years now, and I mean, I know I can do what I need to make to make what I need to make. So I trusted myself, and
Right.
and I trusted his judgment as well because with all the experience he has, and I'm working under him on his job. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a little comfort there.
Right. That's awesome, man. Now, cause I was on the show with a guy a few days ago, and he was telling me how he bought a skid steer, and he was telling me it was right at $100,000. And I've heard horror stories, man, where guys go do storm work and they don't get paid. Like, I understand you probably working under your cousin, but I mean, how does it work? Like, do you meet with homeowners, clean the homeowners' property? Do you meet with the city? Like, what's the ins and outs of that?
No, I work for LDR, and they get the jobs, and see that's where a lot of my comfort. A lot of guys that's coming into this industry, and they just go to work for so and so.
Mm-hmm.
There is a lot of guys getting screwed over and not
Mm-hmm.
getting their money, and I mean like big amounts of money. You know what
Right.
I mean? At the
Right.
end of a storm, And so, I mean, I've got that comfort that here I'm working for my cousin. I know he's not gonna, you know,
Mm-hmm.
stick
Mm-hmm.
it to me.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I came into it like yeah, a little more comfortable than most guys that come into this. You know, just like, hey, I'm just gonna do it. Well, if you ain't got the connections, you could end up in a very bad spot.
Bad spot. Wow. And see, it's good, man. You have your cousin because it's kind of like you got to jump on a bunch of guys that's actually trying to break into that industry.
Yeah, and it like I said, it is pretty hard, and I mean it costs a lot of money to get into
I'm sure. I'm
this
sure.
industry.
I'm sure, man. It's because that's a nice truck you have. When I seen it on your page, I said, man, that man ready. What would be your next piece of equipment that you would like to buy?
I'm gonna get a skid steer to help my truck out.
Wow.
Like, see, we just pick up on the side of the roads
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
on the right of ways is all we touch. So
Mm-hmm.
if I think bringing a skid steer in would kind of pay for itself because I'd be able to pile the piles up for my guy, so he ain't gotta just pull up here and grab some stuff and pull up here. He could
Mm-hmm.
just stop in one spot and load up.
Load up. Yeah. Yeah, that's now. Let me ask you: is it a certain brand of skid steer you would like? Cause see, when I scroll up and down TikTok, I love skid steers. Now the business I'm in, lawn care landscaping, I probably never own one, but man, they're just some beautiful machines. Does the brand matter to you, whether it's Bobcat or Deere, or does it matter?
Oh, I've been pushing more towards a Bobcat. I've just always been told that they were just built a little better and easier to get parts for if
Okay.
you ever broke down.
If you ever broke, and that's probably around the same price too, about 100,000 now.
Yeah, you're looking at about anywhere from 60 to 70,000 for a decent one.
Yeah, and that's not even including attachments. You got to. That's all separate, huh?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, how does that work, man? Like, do you go to Bobcat and get finance for those, or do you go to your bank? Because man, I'm sure like a guy like me, I go to my bank, they gonna be like, man, we not giving you $100,000.
Oh yeah. I use my bank for most of my stuff. Like
Really?
I have a dang good banker,
That's good.
and he never turns me down, even though sometimes I wish he would.
Yeah. Now, when you do get your skid steer, now would you end up needing another truck and trailer to get it up there, or you can just load it up on the trailer you have and just ride on up there?
Yeah, I could just load it in my trailer. My door opens.
Okay, and just
And
head
so,
on up there.
yeah,
That's that's
yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's pretty awesome, man. Now let me ask you, what's I know you got a good mentor, and a lot of people do not have that. What's one of the mistakes you see a lot of people learning the hard way, or what's one of your mistakes that you've had to learn the hard way?
Hmm. I would say in this industry with if there was a guy standing here saying that he wants to get into it and had never done it before, I guess like just the dangers of this industry that we're in. You're handling big trees, and I mean I've personally dropped trees on me sitting
Mm,
on the loader, and I've had guy knock a tree over on a power line right next to me.
mm,
And I mean I've had to jump off that loader pretty quick. I mean
yeah,
it's just and I've seen guys get electrocuted, and I
man,
mean there's just a lot of
it's,
danger
there's a lot of
to all
dangers in
this.
it. Man, it sure is.
And
Wow.
then sometimes like we was in Texas, well I was working for my cousin trying to help him let his employees take time off, and I'd fill in for their truck.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a guy get a gun pulled on him
Really,
in
from a
Texas.
what? From a was it from a homeowner or just some random guy?
Yeah, it was a homeowner,
Wow.
and we was picking up they call it C&D, and that's like household items and stuff. And they was sitting by the road, and the guy picked it up, and he said he was saving that for junk. He was going to cash it in, and wanted us to dig it out. Well, once it goes in our box, we can't dig it out, and if it's
Yeah.
sitting by the road, we just assume,
Yeah.
that's what needs to be picked up. And he drawed a gun out on him, and
Wow.
oh yeah.
Man, yeah, that can get pretty dangerous. Now, when you're in a town like that and you're doing storm cleanup, now we all know there's no way you can go hotel and sit down and get something to eat. Like, what do y'all do for? I'm sure you can probably barbecue or something every day, but give me work. Tell my audience, how do y'all work that out? Sleep and food, like, how do y'all work that out?
Well, the way we do it, we buy campers. So
Mm-hmm.
there's always a place you can put a camper normally,
Okay.
So and it's a lot cheaper than them hotels. It seems like they rack the price up when a hurricane comes through, trying to
Okay.
get the most out of it as they can. So that I mean, we have comforts in a camper, as comfortable as you can be in a
Mm-hmm.
camper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I understand that. I understand that. Now, I've known a guy in my area when a storm. I think a storm had hit Florida, and the only thing he had was a skid steer. I don't think he done good when he went out there. But if only thing somebody have is a skid steer and like a chainsaw, could they make money on a storm?
I mean, a lot of it really comes down to your connections. You're only as good
Okay.
as your connections.
Okay.
And I mean, I like a guy could probably, if he was in a good place where people actually had some money and stuff, he could
Okay.
probably go around and put, they'll pay him to push their debris out to the road to get picked up. But then
Okay.
you also got push crews that come through that push it out to the road for us and stuff like that.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. Now, when everything is said and done, when y'all pull up out of that town and you head home, do you have like a shop you store your equipment, or you just kind of store it on your property?
No, we just store it on our property as
Okay.
we're.
Okay, that's awesome. Now, where do you see your business in the next 5 years, and then where do you see it in 10 years? Like, what's your end goal with your business?
My end goal is I want two trucks, two solid employees that I can train to take care of that truck as if it was theirs. And right now I've got one. He's from Florida, and I mean, this guy's awesome. He's a godly guy. He's always writing scripture on the back of the trailer in the dust. I mean, I just love the heck out of this guy.
Man, that's awesome, man. That's awesome.
But yeah, that's I'd like to have two trucks, skid steer, to make it easier on my operators, and just do the job as to the best ability that we can, and and legally,
Mm-hmm.
just
Mm-hmm.
just do it the best we can to get everybody's life back on track.
Right. Now, when y'all head up there to those storms, how does the gas situation work? Because I seen a video of a guy. When he go in town, he was showing the setup on. I think it was a YouTube video. When he rolled up in town, I think he had like two skid steers. He brought his own tanker full of, I'm assuming, diesel. Then he had a big like RV that he pulled with another truck where his guys slept in, and they had a bunch of food. Now, what do y'all do for gas? Does gas? I mean, for diesel, is it local stations, or y'all have to kind of bring your own?
Well, on the way up here, it's not normally too bad. We're able to pull in and get fuel. But when
Mm,
we get to the job sites, a lot of times there ain't electricity. So we got to
mm,
have like a generator for our camper.
mm-hmm.
And I've got a 150-gallon transfer tank that I fill up my truck up just because a lot of times you can't get them storm trucks in them places
Right,
to get fuel.
right.
So a transfer tank,
Transfer tank.
it's worth every penny.
Right. So even if you have to, if you run out, you could probably just drive an hour, go get some more, and come on back, huh?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Now, with your business, when there's no storms, like give me the ins and outs, cause like right, hurricane season. I'm sure y'all pretty busy, but what do y'all do when it's like no hurricanes come through? And I don't really know when tornado season is, but what do you guys do? Or y'all always busy because there's always something to do?
Um, I haven't ran into that
Oh
yet,
wow.
just because it was my first year, So, and I just got started not too long ago, but
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of guys that they will just literally park their trucks until till the next time, and then there's some guys that pull the beds off and they haul logs with their trucks,
Okay. So long
and
as you got
and then
that, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, and there's guys that do like tree services back home with their own equipment.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, cause it's and I was gonna bring that up. Like you have a bunch of tree guys, like in my area, there's a bunch of tree guys, and when a storm come, to me, this is just what I see. I'm on the outside looking in. It's like when a storm rolled through, they kind of just drop everything back home, go chase the storm for about like a month or two, and then they come back. Sometimes they can pick up where they left off, or sometimes they can't. Is do some guys do that just to go make some extra money real fast and come back home, or some guys are kind of trying to do what you doing? Like, hey man, this is our full time. All we do is clean up. Do you see that in your area?
yeah, yeah. I mean, there is a lot of guys that do that. You know, they keep it going, which is smart business. You know,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm fortunate enough to have me and my partner in this industry.
Mm-hmm.
We have our own semis back home. So
Wow.
if this ends, or if my employee that's working under me now needs a job beyond this, I'm fortunate enough to say put him in one of our trucks and send him out to keep making money for his family.
Wow, man, that's awesome. Sound like you got it all figured out, man. Because I mean,
Oh, I'm trying.
because that always baffled me. Just how does that work? But man, by you giving insight, that it just makes so much sense. Now, if
Having something else
yeah,
is nice, you know, something
yeah,
else you can.
a backup plan, right, right.
Oh yeah,
But like you say, man, so far you've not haven't you not been to the point where you haven't had any work. That's
yeah. We've been very fortunate. We've had a total of 3 weeks off since we bought this truck.
wow, man.
So
That's awesome, man. You and that for that big investment, it's paying off. It's paying off.
uh, in the long term. I mean, it costs a lot. You know, you're buying your fuel, and like
Yeah,
we're paying our employee, and I mean, we try
yeah.
to compensate him pretty good. That way,
Right,
we want
he
him
can stay.
happy, and
Yeah, he can
yeah,
stay. And see, that's good, man.
uh,
Because like you say, scared money don't make money, and a lot of people they want to do the things they want that truck that you have, but when they see that price tag, and I'm gonna say this, man, like it's good the truck costs that much because it's gonna keep I call them the cheap guys out. Cause see, in my industry, lawn care, it's nothing to go buy a lawnmower and start cutting grass. Like
yeah,
90% of people can't go buy what you bought and jump into the cleanup game, and that's good because it keep a lot of people out.
yeah. There's a lot of people getting in though. I mean,
But
and
they gonna see. Yeah, once they probably about five of them then put all their money in, put their money together to about one skid. Then when they get up there, it's gonna be an eye opener for them, man.
as bad as it is to say, I'm just waiting for when these guys go home. I'm watching the market because, like I said, I want that other truck, and
Yeah.
I think somebody's gonna want to get out. A lot of people probably.
That's
So,
how it be. Somebody done bought something and they not making the money and they want to sell it.
oh yeah, yeah, it's very costly, very costly.
Now, so like I'm sure, like you say, when a storm roll in, it's jam packed with a bunch of guys. But slowly, you start seeing a few guys kind of falling off. Like, hey, they going home. Hey, this crew going home. Do you see that?
Yeah, there's some crews like we had here. Like this is all a tree farms, and one of the crews kind of drifted off and started doing illegal stuff, and he like
Mm,
was taking logs and stuff, and as soon as my cousin and them found out about that, they was cut loose. We don't want that under, you know, he doesn't want it on his name, and
mm-hmm.
don't want nobody that works like that. We're not here to screw anybody. We're here to help.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's true, man. That's true. Now, if you now if you see somebody like I say starting their business today of what you're doing, what advice would you give them?
Don't. I would say don't just go blowing all your money at once, because you're one day away from that big breakdown. Like
Mm.
you might have to. I seen my cousin have to replace his loader, and that was a lot of money. I don't even
Mm,
know how much he paid, but I guarantee it was well over 50,000 just to replace the loader.
right, right, right. Man.
A
Now,
lot of guys will start getting money and then they just start spending money, and then they pickle themselves.
right, because I was gonna ask you that. Like, now the truck you have, the one I see on social media, is that a brand new truck? Or is that a used one?
No, it is a used one.
Is a used one. Now, is it like I hear a lot of some guys know how to work on their own equipment. Is it best if you can buy brand new, or hey man, buy used? It's gonna do the same thing. Like when you get ready to go get your skid steer, are you planning on getting a used one or a new
I will probably buy a used one.
one? Mm-hmm.
Uh, I mean, it's cheaper. I'm able to work on a lot of stuff, and then comes in my cousin and all his friends that like I had my frame broke on my storm truck, and
Mm-hmm.
they came together and helped me. And the Foxes, the ones I bought the truck from, he jumped right in there and welded it for me. Just having a great support team around you
Right,
is huge.
man. That's awesome. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Sound like I say, man. Sound like y'all work good together as a team. Do you see
Yeah.
any? Is it a? Do you see any one man operations up there, or that doesn't exist in your field?
No, not normally. You don't normally just
Okay,
see one guy. It takes a lot of guys
I
to
know
help
it take a
help
lot.
make things work,
Yeah. Okay.
especially when you get into hurricane damage. I mean, it's just I'm from Missouri and I was always used to tornadoes, and
Mm-hmm.
when I came on my first hurricane job, I was just like, wow, because it's just everywhere.
Oh, so in tornado, it's kind of like spread out a little bit here, a little bit there.
Yeah, you got you
Okay.
almost a straight line of damage, but man, you
Okay.
get you get to seeing hurricane damage when you're from the north, and it's just like, wow, holy crap.
Right. Cause see, I never seen a tornado. I take that back. We had one tornado here. I want to say last year. Man, it tore up some stuff. But to me, it looked like hurricane damage because me growing up in the South, that's all I know is hurricanes. So, and like I
Right.
say, I'm 35, and out of my 35 years living in Mississippi, it snowed one time when I was 6 years old, and we've had one tornado. But everything else, every year, like man, if you're living down here on the coast, you need to have what I call run money. And what I mean by that, by me having 5 kids, I'm not really trying to ride no hurricane out. I'm trying to
Right.
have some money put to the side. Hey man, let's jump in this truck, drive up north somewhere, let the storm pass, then we'll come back home and deal with it. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean that's honestly the smart thing. Like, I do the cleanup, but I never wish anything like this on anybody. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that don't have the money to leave, and there's people that decide not to leave. I've
Yeah.
seen trees fall on houses where it killed children, just stuff like
Mm.
that to make you cry. But
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
having that money to be able, and just having the smarts just to get out of there, it's not worth the risk.
Yeah. It's not. It's not. I think the worst storm we had down here was Katrina. Was you doing any work around that time, Katrina? Or no.
I was not, but my cousin was.
Yeah, I'm sure he probably was either in Louisiana or down here somewhere. But man, it was bad for a long time. I mean, I was around 15 or 14 when that storm come through. Man, it was just sad. It tore up a bunch of stuff.
Oh yeah.
But I'm
Oh
sure,
yeah. Yeah, I've heard about it.
yeah. But I'm sure guys like you, man, made some money.
Yeah. And that's the sad part, we don't wish that stuff
No, you
on,
don't. You don't wish
anybody,
it,
but
but that's life. Things like that happen.
right.
That's life.
Right.
Yep. Yep. Well, man, I'm not gonna take up much of your time, man. Do you want to plug your socials so our people can watch your content, content?
Yeah, I just started it, and it was a TikTok page. Yeah.
Okay, and I believe that's how I found you was on your TikTok page. He- Hello.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We must got disconnected. But yeah, I was.
I hit the end button when I pulled up my phone
Oh,
to
okay,
pull
okay.
up my
I thought
thing.
it was something on my end, but yeah, that's how I found you, man. Was on your TikTok page, and it's like I say, man. That's I just always been fascinated with things like that.
Yeah.
I have also one more question to ask you. Is there any books you're reading at this moment, or any motivational speakers you're listening to?
No, I listen to the daily scripture on YouTube. I've
Hmm.
been doing that for many years. Um, I won't say I'm the best Christian, but I try to be
Nah,
a
that's
good
all we can
Christian.
do is try, man. Nobody's gonna be perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Y- But my TikTok page is S&S Disaster on TikTok,
Mm-hmm.
and if I could plug LDR
Mm-hmm.
Lakeside Disaster Recovery, them guys have they're without them I couldn't even be where I am today, and I mean they deserve a lot, and they've been a lot of places and clean up, and they make everything social. They put it on this Facebook page, and it's just awesome what these guys do.
Man, that's awesome, man. Listen, man, I wish you nothing but the best for your business. I will be looking out for new content for you to post more content.
Yeah, boy, I appreciate you having me on here.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thanks again, Mr. Larry. You have a good one.
You too.
All right.
Bye.
Let's give that guy a round of applause. Man, that's awesome, man. Storm work. I've always wondered how that storm work worked, but he explained it to me pretty good. And I see either you don't come up there playing. Ain't no cheap. I'm sure it's not no cheap guys in his industry. Ain't no chucks in his industry. If you going up there, you coming up there to work, and you gonna put your money where your mouth is. But look, y'all, thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next episode.